Hello everyone. In the last class, we have discussed about the sexually transmitted disease gonorrhea. So the causative organism of gonorrhea is gram-negative cocci, Neisseria gonorrhea. We have studied about its morphology, biochemical characteristics, and the pathogenicity of the bacteria both in men and women. And today we are going to discuss about the laboratory diagnosis. So the laboratory diagnosis is important in any kind of infection. So for each and every disease, the sample collection, that is the specimens, will be vary. In case of this gonorrheal disease, the sample collection will be different for men and women. So in men, if it is an acute infection, the urethral discharge has been collected, and if it is a chronic infection, morning drop or the discharge collected after the prostatic massage or the centrifuged deposit of urine can be used as a specimen. In case of women, the urethral discharge has been taken, or else cervical swabs can be used as a specimen. So, in both the sexes, apart from these samples, blood, cerebrospinal fluid, synovial fluid, throat swab, rectal swab, and material from the skin rashes can also be collected. If there is a delay in processing the sample, it would be better to send the sample in towards transport medium. Once the specimen is collected, can go for examining the samples. So the first thing is direct microscopy, and this will help you in case of men patients. So the gram staining here provides a presumptive evidence of gonorrhea in men. The gram negative diplococci are found, whereas this gram staining procedure is unreliable in women. And another one method is that immunofluorescence. Here the fluorescent dye can be used to stain the bacteria. So the next method is culturing method. Here we can use the selective media for Neisseria gonorrhea, that is the Thayer-Martin medium, and then we can analyze the quality morphology of the bacteria, and after that we can go for gram staining. If it reveals gram-negative cocci in pairs with adjacent sites concave, then we can go for its biochemical reactions. So from this, we can conclude whether it is a Neisseria gonorrhea or some other bacteria. So apart from these staining and culturing methods, there are also other methods to confirm the Neisseria gonorrhea, that is based on its serological test. So the first thing is by complement fixation test, and another one is precipitation, passive agglutination, immunofluorescence technique, and radioimmunoassay. Here, this radioimmunoassay uses whole cell lysate, pilus protein, and the lipopolysaccharide antigen. Initially, for the treatment of gonorrhea, penicillin was used as a drug of the choice, but later it developed resistance towards it. So the penicillin resistance is mainly due to the production of penicillinase enzyme. So the strains are called as penicillinase producing Neisseria gonorrhea, shortly PPNG. So nowadays, ceftriaxone or ciprofloxacin plus doxycycline or erythromycin is useful in treating this gonorrheal infection. So the next one is the epidemiology. Gonorrhea is an exclusively human disease. So the only source of infection is a human carrier, or less often a patient. Asymptomatic carriage in women makes them a reservoir to spread infection among their male contact. This gonorrhea is a venereal disease, that is a sexually transmitted disease. So how to prevent this gonorrheal infection means if the case is detected very early, it is easy to prevent the further infections. And another thing is tracing of contacts, and then proper health education clearly prevents this type of sexually transmitted diseases. And some general measures can also help to prevent this kind of infections. Vaccination has no role in these kind of sexually transmitted diseases. Apart from Neisseria gonorrhea, some other bacteria, parasites, viruses, and fungi are responsible for urethritis. So, the urethritis due to the causative agents other than gonococcus are said to be non-gonococcal urethritis or non-specific urethritis. So the bacteria like Chlamydia trachomatis, Mycoplasma ureolyticum, and Ureaplasma ureolyticum are responsible for these kind of non-specific urethritis. So the parasites like Trichomonas vaginalis, viruses like Herpes simplex, cytomegalovirus, and fungi like Candida are responsible for these kind of non-specific urethritis. So the non-gonococcal urethritis, also said to be NGU, can be a part of Reiter syndrome. It is a clinical condition which is accompanied by urethritis, arthritis, and conjunctivitis. So these are all some of the commensal Neisseria present in the body. Neisseria lactamica, Neisseria pharyngis, Neisseria polysacchariae, Neisseria cinereae, Neisseria flavescens, and Neisseria mucosa. I think with this you have got a detailed idea about the laboratory diagnosis, prophylaxis, and treatment of gonorrheal infection caused by Neisseria gonorrhea. And I will see you in next presentation. Thank you.